What really tugged on my heartstrings was how the characters had really touching moments at times that were believable enough to convince me that they truly cared for each other. Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. In this one I'm going to be doing a review of the TV show Insatiable, which is not just any TV show, it's actually a Netflix original, meaning you can only watch it if you have a Netflix account. For all of you guys out there who don't have one yet and are considering creating one, I'd say go for it, and if you do, you should use it to your advantage because there are a lot of shows out there which are exclusive to this platform, including Insatiable, of course. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoy watching this video as much as I enjoy making it for you guys, and without further ado, let's get into the review. Like many Americans, one day I was just scrolling through Netflix when I stumbled upon this brand new series that came out just this month. Curious to know what exactly it was about, I read the description and was instantly pulled into the world of Patty Bladell, a 17 going on 18-year-old teenager who struggled with her body image for as long as she could remember. That was until she was verbally harassed for her appearance by a homeless man, which resulted in a fight that led her to getting her jaw dislocated. Therefore, she lost an incredible amount of weight, which gave her the body she always wanted. With this body, Patty figured that she could transform into a completely different person, so she paired up with beauty pageant coach Bob Armstrong to create a brand new identity for herself while saving his reputation, for he was falsely accused of sexually harassing a minor. Together, they plan to take over the beauty pageant world, but that's not all. Determined to get revenge upon those who wronged her in the past, Patty took it upon herself to pay the homeless man a visit which didn't end so well, sort of like Carrie. Every event in their lives leading up to that moment led them to believe that fate had brought them together, and from then on they dragged each other through hell and back. The first season of the show was an enjoyable watch for me as it tackled important issues surrounding not only body image, but gender identity, sexual orientation, and substance abuse, showing that everyone has their own inner demons while setting the message that you will never be comfortable with yourself on the outside unless you are comfortable with yourself on the inside as well. What really tugged on my heartstrings was how the characters had really touching moments at times that were believable enough to convince me that they truly cared for each other. On the other hand, what I was not entirely impressed with was how the writers would, in a way, belittle the audience by including voiceovers at times where it was really unnecessary, suggesting that we were not smart enough to wrap our heads around what was being shown to us on screen, which is something I've noticed other people complain about when hearing what they had to say about the show. I'm sure that the majority of viewers would agree with me when I say that we could do without them. Another aspect of the show that wasn't so great was the speed of the story. It seemed like the writers were so focused on surprising the audience with so many plot twists and turns that they felt the need to jam-pack more than they were capable of into every episode to the point where it seemed rushed, and they could have just extended the season instead. If you'd like for me to elaborate on my points, then I suggest you keep watching, but if not, I'm warning you to click off this video right now, as it does include some spoiler warnings up ahead. What I mean by saying that this was an enjoyable watch for me in regard to the issues it tackles is that the audience is able to relate to the characters more because they are likely to either be someone or know someone who deals with at least one of the issues that I mentioned previously, which makes them feel like someone understands what they are going through or they can empathize with them. For example, though Patty has gone from being fat to skinny, she still has moments where she feels like nothing in her life has changed, and either gets down on herself by not wanting to wear a bikini or stuffing her face with food. Meanwhile, her best friend Nani comes to terms with the fact that she is attracted to girls. Personally, I've known people who have been very insecure with themselves in regard to the way they look, and even if they manage to overcome those issues, they still find themselves in the position that Patty once was, which is normal because recovery isn't a straight line. Therefore, I can empathize with her. Something I'd like to add is, one scene that really touched me was the one in episode 12, the season finale. Bob was a phone call away from committing suicide, but he didn't because Patty called him just in time, so he told her what he was going through, and it was truly a wonderful moment. Those were the pros in depth. Now let's get to the cons. As I was saying, the voiceovers can go. Pretty much none of them had a reason to be included and were even annoying at times. I often found myself thinking, what am I being told that I didn't already know? just get on to the next scene. Especially during Patty's visit to the homeless guy at the hotel when she was inspired to set him on fire. That would have been a much more epic scene with dramatic music playing in the background instead of a useless clarification from Patty herself. Then there was the speed of the story. At times, it just went way too fast, especially when it came to Patty's love life. One minute she was in love with Bob, then Brick, then Christian. In real life, it would take more time for someone to move on from one guy to the next, especially given the amount of time she shared with each guy to develop true feelings for them. It isn't enough to develop a real emotional connection. I mean, how could you go from thinking a guy is hot to be willing to run away with him and leave your entire life behind in such a short amount of time? Overall, I will give the first season a 6 out of 10 because it was interesting enough to keep me wanting more, yet it could have been far better if certain things about the show were executed differently. Let me know what you think in the comments down below because I love interacting with my viewers and know we could have some great discussions. Anyway, that's going to be the end of today's video, so I'll see you in the next one. Bye!